Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Heavy police presence at Ocho Rios lockup after standoff with inmates. There was a standoff between inmates and lawmen at the Ocho Rios police station in St. Anne on Wednesday evening. The circumstances around what led to the standoff are unclear. On Tuesday, 5 inmates of the Ocho Rios lockup, who were allegedly seen in a viral video assaulting another inmate, were arrested and charged. The men were charged with assault occasionally grievous bodily harm and unlawful wounding in relation to the incident, which occurred on January 19. Reports are that between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m., an argument developed among the men when the inmate was assaulted. He was taken to hospital where he was treated and released back into the custody of the police. Prime Minister Holness defends financial sector, urges citizens not to be influenced by rumors.
If actors in the sector or the common person is misinformed and consumes information that is incorrect, information that is false and misleading, it could impact the way in which economic actors make their financial decisions and create a crisis that does not need to exist. Now, were it only a political market at risk, I would brush it aside and say par for the course. But there is our national asset at risk by this kind of behavior. Our financial market is a regional leader. It gives Jamaica a competitive advantage, and we must protect it at all costs. At all costs. So we all know this. Financial markets are the best aggregators of information, even false information. And so we must act responsibly with information. There was this query as to why I didn't jump out with a statement immediately. It's simply because I have a duty that when I speak, the information that I provide must be unassailable. And that means you have to take time to verify so that confidence can be restored. But we saw in the interim that some persons had a field day with misinformation. And I wonder what was the motive for that. It was almost gleeful celebration. And I ask all Jamaicans to think very carefully on these things. Let us protect our national asset that we have. Use only information that is verified and from sources that are trustworthy.
Tufton recommits to improving staff at public hospitals. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton has recommitted to improving staff numbers at the country's public hospitals. He made the comment in light of the recent deaths of several babies at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital and a Pan American Health Organization PAHO report, which linked the deaths to understaffing and poor cleaning practices. Between January and December last year, 50 babies contracted the bacteria. 12 of them died. While speaking at a press conference on Wednesday, where the PAHO report findings were revealed, Dr. Tufton sought to assure citizens that plans have been put in motion to expand staffing in the health sector. He noted that the government is planning to fill over 2,000 posts. Dr. Tufton said he hopes these measures will yield success, noting that during the period in which the babies died, there was one nurse to around 8 babies.
There'll certainly be an expansion. That is all in keeping with the restructuring of the public service. So we have given an ideal scenario. What it will mean is that it allows us to hire not just more nurses or in the categories where we have a shortage, but also more doctors, where we do have supply, certainly at the general practitioner level. Some specialized areas are short. There is a HR plan that the CMO's office is developing in keeping with the proposed expansion of public health over the next number of years. The expansion of Spanish Town, Cornwall Regional, the new Children and Adolescent Hospital. That HR plan we hope to unveil soon. The nursing staff would be critical because they are the most permanent fixture in a situation like that. And they would have to play a role in helping to ensure the oversight for cleaning. And to the extent that the ratios were so far out of whack, I believe at the time it was like 1 in 8, 1 nurse to 8 babies, as opposed to the 1 to 2 that would be ideal, or 1 to 1. You can appreciate how things could possibly break down, especially if these babies required constant, ongoing attention. It's not an excuse. This is something we have to address, but that's the reality of the situation based on the staff shortages that we had to confront at the time.
BOJ Governor expresses confidence in agency's ability to oversee financial entities formerly governed by the FSC. Governor of the Bank of Jamaica BOJ, Richard Blight, has expressed confidence in the agency's ability to provide efficient oversight of Jamaica's financial sector. This following the expansion of the central bank's supervisory and regulatory role from oversight of deposit-taking financial institutions to include non-bank financial institutions such as security dealers, insurance companies, and pension funds. The policy change was announced by Dr. Nigel Clark on Monday and came in response to concerns about the efficiency of the Financial Services Commission, FSC, in its oversight of financial entities. Responding to questions about the capacity of the BOJ to efficiently carry out its new duties, Governor Blight said financial stability is one of the most important objectives of the BOJ. Mr. Blight noted he approaches the challenge with humility as the financial sector outside of the deposit-taking institution, DTIS, is even larger than the DTIS in terms of assets management. The BOJ governor added that he will be meeting with the board, management and staff of the FSC on January 26 for discussions on the way forward.
It's within the authority of the minister to make these changes. At Bank of Jamaica, we accept that charge that we have to prepare to supervise the entire financial sector. We do so now for the deposit-taking institutions, which are commercial banks, building societies, credit unions. And so we are quite adept at doing it. We have a lot of international support and expertise and training that we have had over the years in respect of this function. And we are very, very detailed about it. If you see some of the reports that we take to our committees, they are extremely professional and detailed. So I have no doubt in my mind that we have the core competence to handle the enlarged portfolio. We're going to have to depend a lot on the FSC and the skills and expertise that exist there. The initial step is for us to become involved in the FSC. So I become the chairman, and 4 other BOJ members of the leadership team become directors of the FSC. Essentially take control of the management of the FSC. And then there's a process of over a period of time, whether it's 18 months or 24, we are going to, in a very organized way, try to pull into the Bank of Jamaica all of that expertise that currently exists in the FSC.
Manchester Police promised more targeted operations aimed at criminals. Head of the Manchester Police Division, Superintendent Shane McCullough, says there will be more targeted operation in search of criminals in the parish. This as the parish continues to be plagued by incidents of crime and violence, such as murders and robberies. Up to Sunday, January 22nd, Manchester had recorded 150% increase in murders since the start of the year, with 5 people being murdered compared to 2 for the corresponding period last year. Speaking with reporters following a peace walk in the communities of Comfort, land settlement on Monday, Superintendent McCullough said residents should expect to see more boots on the ground.
The specialized operations and the joint anti-gang task force, have been deployed in the parish as of Sunday, and have started to carry out targeted operations in a number of communities for persons that we have on our radar as persons of interest, and also persons that we know are associated with other illicit activities. So you will be seeing specialized operations and the joint anti-gang task force for a period of time inside Manchester, right? So that is something we also ask the residents to understand, that with those operations will come sometimes some level of inconvenience with their day-to-day activities, but we ensure that we will do everything in keeping with their constitutional rights, right? Because that's paramount for us as police officers. So there is more forces here that have been deployed to assist and push towards getting the parish back to where we want it in 2023.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share,